share. The academic at the center of the so-called Climategate scandal is a current recipient of stimulus plan money. That's according to a new report on Professor Michael Mann of Penn State University. Now, Penn State is investigating Professor Mann for his alleged involvement in the attempt to destroy and manipulate climate data in order to advance the theory of man-made global warming. Now, the National Center for Public Policy Research has learned that Mann received more than $500,000 in funds from the federal stimulus program. Joining me now, Tom Borelli. He's from the National Center for Public Policy Research. Tom, welcome to the program.
Stuart, thanks for having me.
First of all, what is Michael Mann accused of doing?
He's in Climategate. There were a lot of emails that were involved, and even among the people in the inner circle were concerned that some of the data he might have been manipulating the data to smooth out the temperature change over 1,000 years.
Okay, that's what he's accused of doing.
Well, there's discussions about use Mann's trick to hide the decrease in temperature.
So here you've got a link between the stimulus plan and this Climategate. I mean, there's a direct link in the form of Professor Michael Mann. My question is, why was a professor of climate studies getting job creation stimulus plan money in the first place? I mean, do you have an answer for that?
That's a $787 billion question.
That is true.
That's the question, because when you look at the whole Obama's plan, it seems like a lot of the stimulus money went to Medicaid, went to entitlements.
Yes, it did.
Now it's also money possibly for Acorn. Now we're having money that's going to a loyalist in the climate change debate. In your prior program, don't forget, you also mentioned that the green jobs. Obama is all in on green jobs. That all relies on climate change happening. If climate change isn't real, then we can go back to drilling for oil, digging for coal, and the whole fossil fuel economy kicks in.
So
this is one big balloon bubble.
Yeah. Okay, so potentially this is a case of stimulus plan money being deliberately used in the going towards a scientific studies, a series of studies, which prove the administration's point that there is global warming, that it's man-made.
That is certainly a scenario that I'm most concerned about.
Okay, separate subject for 1 second. A lot of corporations have laid out their investments in the future on the belief that cap and trade would happen. Now, what happens if cap and trade doesn't happen, as I think is highly likely? Fill us in.
Well, a lot of these companies went all in with Obama. You have General Electric, a lot of utilities, Duke Energy, Exelon. They're hoping to get billions and billions of dollars in free carbon credits, and then therefore they can help those build their new facilities. They don't get those credits. They just wasted 3 years, and they have no business plan.
Give me an example of a company which set out its store thinking we would get cap and trade and really put big bucks into that whole idea. We're going to get cap and trade. Give me an example of a company that maybe that's out of sorts right now.
Duke Energy. Their CEO, Jim Rogers, has been lobbying for the last 3 years for a cap and trade. And in the bill that came out of the House that was passed, his company could reap billions of dollars in free carbon credits, of which then he wants to use to build nuclear. Well, if he doesn't get cap and trade, he doesn't have that free money, and shareholders were just wasted 3 years of his time on this lark, on, basically talking about political risk.
The gentleman who runs Duke Energy, Jim Rogers, right?
Correct.
He was really all in.
Oh, he's all in.
No, he's all in with global warming. He bought it, hook, line, and sinker.
Keep this in mind. He runs a domestic energy company, utility, and he was in Copenhagen. I mean, as a shareholder, our organization is a shareholder, we're outraged. What's he doing over there? He should be in North Carolina trying to figure out what's he going to do with his energy plan without cap and trade, because it's not going to happen.
Full disclosure, you're from the National Center for Public Policy Research.
Correct.
Okay. Are you oil company funded? Are you industry funded?
94% of our money comes from individuals.
Individuals. Okay. Do you take the position that global warming, man-made global warming, is not a threat? It's not real. Is that your position?
That's my position. I'm joined by, thousands and thousands of other scientists and millions of Americans. And remember, transparency is key in science. What these individuals are doing in Climategate, they were talking about manipulating, hiding, and destroying data.
Okay.